explain that about what it means to play in Cope Park. It's insane. And here the ball is thrown in for the start of the game. Those guys are out there, they're living their dream. London are living their dream as well, because they have been so committed to hurling. The standard of these players, you can see the speed of the game already. They are tearing into this game. They have given everything this week in Waterford to get here, and not just this week. They've been playing for years. These boys love the game, and they can play as well. As you can see, a point after only 20 seconds for New York. What a brilliant score. And you see the Reynolds signs in the background, because this is the Reynolds GAA World Games, and we are really stepping it up a notch, because London and New York are here to give it everything. The crowd has got bigger as the day has got on, and they've got more vociferous and more passionate, and they are really into this game, and it looks like a really even contest, and these boys will not be holding back, because I met a lot of the London guys at the ABCs in London, and boy do they like their hurling, and it's not just something they took up 5 minutes ago. One of the clubs in London was formed in 1935, and it has been revived, so there is a tradition there, and they're very aware of that, and the GAA World Games has allowed these boys to carry on that tradition, to revive that tradition, and they aim for something, and they're aiming for the top. They're aiming for Croke Park, and that's where they're playing. And what a week it's been for New York. They will play later in the native men's football final, New York against New York. That shows you the strength of the game out there. What an occasion that will be for the boys from the Big Apple. And here we have them now, and they're also in the ladies final. Liberty New York are playing in that, so it's been a great week for New York. And here they are on the hurling. Oh, that's spilled, and it could be a goal on here. Now the goalkeeper has managed to scramble it somehow, but for a moment there it looked like that was going to end up in the net, but he cleared his lines in the end. And the challenges are flying in the middle of the pitch, and there's good skills there, as you can see, and a nice turn and flick, but doesn't quite get there in the end. Now we will be welcoming your messages on Facebook throughout this game. Matt Schumacher says, "Go on, Johnny," for example. John Clark says, "I see you, Matt." And Matthew O'Connell says, "Come on, New York. Good luck, Nick, Dave, and the rest of the boys." And the Thomas McCurtains are watching as well in London. Go on, Liam. So keep those coming throughout the game. We embrace your messages as being part of the whole experience here. In the last game, we had messages from all over the United States, Canada, Mexico, and Australia, and that was for the Camogie final. Now there's a score. There's a score for London. Their first score of the game in the 3rd minute of the game. And we are playing in the best sunshine and heat you could imagine in Croke Park. It's a beautiful day. It's a fantastic occasion. And this game is our 6th game, our 6th live stream so far. And we will run through the teams in just a moment. But we will stay with the play for now, because it is New York trying to build. It's certainly an end-to-end game. Two evenly matched teams. Oh, what a steal. There could be a goal on here, and that looked like a foul, and indeed it is a foul, and it has been given. Martin Harrell, who we know from London, has mentioned Angela, and he wants her to watch. That's the idea. We have Haley watching from Brisbane. Good skills there already. Absolutely great skills out there. And we have Pop Garrity saying, "Come on, Liam O'Brien, East London's finest." Kelly Rafferty says, "Come on, London," as well. And Ali Collier says, "Go London," as the ball flies over the bar. Philip Hogan says, "Best of luck to the London lads." Up tip. So we're getting messages from all over. Angie Fogarty says, "Come on, London," from the ladies Camogie Father Murphy's. Thank you, Angie. I was talking to you during the week. Dave Wilcox says, "Great coverage. I'm here on Facebook in Salisbury to watch Aaron Roach, my grandson. Come on, London." We're delighted you're able to watch it, Dave, and follow your grandson there. So lovely messages coming in all over the place. We welcome them, keep them coming. And there's New York going for another score, but that one goes wide. Now I'm going to run through the teams, but in the meantime I'm also going to introduce my co-commentator, who I've never met before in my life, but you're wearing New York, so we're half safe there. You're not going to be too biased, are you? But no. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Johnny McGeaney. I'm involved with the development squad of the football, and I know a lot of the boys because they mix the boats. So unfortunately we couldn't get some of them, but we know most of them, and we're glad to be here today.
You sure are, in the sunshine in Croke Park, and what a day for New York. Look at the skills here. I mean, that's a great catch there, and that's going nicely over the bar. We're right behind that. Yeah, lovely score. Great skills.
Yeah, that's James Breen. James Breen would be involved with Rangers in the football, and he would be a full back at football as well, so he's an exceptional talent.
When you say exceptional, These lads are from New York. People in Ireland just don't expect they're going to be that good. Explain to me how they're exceptional or what goes into it.
There was a programme brought in maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Joan Henchy, and she called up a few boys, and we brought these boys that were 16, 17, and you know, we'd Mickey Quigg, Mike Kennedy, all the boys that grew up playing this sport, and they took them under their wing, and Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, these boys would be out practicing air games in New York.
And how big of a carrot was it to get playing here in Croke Park?
Oh, it was massive, massive. That was the ticket. That was the thing that everyone, when we probably back in November, we brought it up to the boys. You know, we want to play in the World Games. If you get to play in Croke Park, you know, we see it every Sunday on TV, and that was a no-brainer for the boys.
Because they have the nationals, they have the CYC, they have their own internal competitions, but getting here. Yeah. Boy, that's
massive,
it.
Massive. A lot of these players actually and their parents had the CYC last weekend, and they flew Sunday night, Monday, whatever they had to do to get
Did that myself.
You know? Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
But they, so they're young lads. These are young lads who were playing in the under-18s.
Yeah, these are...
Super score again. Look at that. Well, I think it was over the bar. Yeah, he's given it. Nice score for New York, and that's 4-2. Sorry.
No. Yeah, a lot of these were involved. I know the parents, and even in the Fela, they were home a month ago. You know, so a lot of work goes in behind the scenes for this to happen. You know, so
isn't it brilliant? They're American-born. They're keeping the game through, They're being kept in the game, if you like, through things like the World Games. That's fantastic to see.
Oh, it's like I'm the coach of the development football team that's on later on again, the senior New York team, and you know, it's going to be spectacular. You know, that's Nick Corbett there. Nick plays football also.
Whoa, what a goal by Nicholas Corbett. He told me yesterday after the semi-final that it would be insane to play here, and he's now had a special moment. He's banged the ball into the net. 1-4 to 2 points.
Great moment for Nick. Nick also was a great footballer, and he was for the college team earlier on this year, and he opted out of it just because of his studies, but he's put everything into the World Games this year.
Well, it's paying off for him. It's absolutely paying off. I'm going to go through the team. Eddie Hogan is number 1, yeah?
Yeah, Eddie's the man.
Brandon Hickey, number 2. James Breen is wearing 3. PJ King is wearing 4. And these are very Irish names.
Yeah, PJ King, Hatchet Man, he calls himself.
We'll be watching that to see if he lives up to it. Connor Boyle is wearing 5. Pádraig Kine, wearing number 6. This is number 12, Dylan Grace.
That's Dylan, that's the captain.
He's the captain, yeah.
Also very talented footballer also.
Shane Doheny is wearing 13. Steve Maroney, 11. You know all these boys well. David Lewis, 10. Nick Corbett, as you said, is 9. Garrod Kennedy is wearing 8. Caelan Walsh, 7. As I say, that sounds like an Irish team, very Irish.
Yeah, they've all got first generation. Garrod, actually, who's playing midfield here, would be the goalkeeper for the development squad this evening, and Eddie Hogan, that's doing nets, is also a part of the senior squad. You know, so
but they are all born in America, these guys.
All Americans, every one of them.
Don't worry, I'm not checking out that you're legal, you know, but I'm just making that, underlining that point. They're all born in America. That's
one thing we do is we want to promote the Americans. You know, we have our Irish and we look after our Irish, but the Americans is where we see in New York on the next 5-6 years, we'd be hoping that we bringing them up to the county.
It's working. You're doing something right. Yeah. You really are, because this is fabulous. But look, it's not all about New York. London are doing the same thing, and they are making fantastic progress as well. We have guys over there like Stephen Lavery, Lloyd Colfer was over there a few years with Brendy Bryan, you know, and the work that they're doing on the ABCs is absolutely tremendous. There's a goal for New York, the second goal of the game. It goes to New York, and it's scored by number 12,
Dylan Grace.
Dylan Grace, the captain. In the 9th minute of the game, they have taken a big lead in this game, a significant lead, although you never know in hurling.
No.
But back to London, we have Chris Weller wearing number 1, the goalkeeper, as they go for goal at the other end, but New York managed to clear their lines. Number 2 is Francis O'Dwyer, 3 is Charlie Rose, 4 is Liam O'Brien, 5 is Alan Callanan, 6 is Aaron Roach, 7 Michael O'Dwyer, 8 is Darren Howland. As New York go for goal again, it's Dylan Grace, the captain again. He offloads this time very cleverly, and there's a chance of a third goal, and the third goal goes into the net within 10 minutes. New York have lit up Croke Park.
Grode's father's actually on the sideline. He's over the boys with Mickey Quigg.
It was all about the offload, though, to be fair.
Yeah, fair.
The captain, Dylan Grace, scored 1 goal, made another one. Here could be a goal at the other end, and it is brilliant. Oh, he's overcarried. He's overcarried. And going through the rest of the team, Darren Howland, 8 for London. Sean Howland, number 9, spoke to him yesterday. Connor Howland, number 10, 3 Howlands. Jack Doyle, 11. Stephen Walsh is 12. And Aidan Callanan is 13. And Patrick Doyle is number 3. That is the London team. We're 10 minutes into the game. And it's 3-5 to 3 points. This London team is really, really good. But New York are tearing them apart. Or maybe it's just the goals. It doesn't seem like it should be that kind of difference between the teams, but they're deadly when they get near goal, New York. And these young lads, as you said, playing the CYC, the Youth Championships last week, they are dynamite and they know where the goal is. Dylan Grace playing really well. They're all playing really well, and they've 3 goals on the board, and they make the difference. So on the scoreboard, certainly New York are well in control of this game, but what a goal that is, and that underlines the point that I'm saying. London aren't that bad. The score does not reflect them, and they have hit back with a brilliant goal of their own. 3-5 to 1-3. That was some goal, wasn't it?
Great goal. He
did it a minute ago, I think, and it was disallowed.
And they played in the league. He also scored 3 or 4 goals in one of the games, I believe. So this is a big test. New York haven't met them or haven't beat them yet. So it's a never say.
What was it? How did it go during the?
London beat them well twice. So they did. So they knew.
Beat them well twice.
Yeah. 7+ points in both games.
And 30 seconds ago, you were 11 points up.
Yeah. So this game is far from over. So hopefully the boys have it in the tank just to keep it going.
Wow. Well, there's no nerves anyway.
Not for me. I'm not much of a hurler. I'm more
no,
of a
not
footballer.
You. From these guys, there's no nerves the way they've started.
Definitely not.
Fantastic start to this game. They have really killed it in Croke Park.
Yeah, I believe Johnny Glynn got in and talked to them before, so I think he might have given them a good talking to.
I'd say these New Yorkers know a thing or two anyway. They'll not be fazed by this.
No.
That one goes wide. We're nearly 12 minutes in. What do you think of the atmosphere here today?
Oh, it's great. We stayed in the Croke Park Hotel, and from early morning it was just buzzing. It was just buzzing all morning. So hopefully now for the rest of the evening, the crowd will keep coming and keep cheering for their teams. It's great to have it.
Well, you've plenty to look forward to from a New York point of view in the next few games as well. I'm really looking forward to the last game, New York against New York.
Yeah. Very true, yeah.
I just hope the stadium announcer thinks to play Frank Sinatra for that one. New York, New York. Come on. Yeah. It's up there.
It's coming home either way, so
now you're talking about my way.
Whether it's the kids or the old folk, it'll be one of us. So
well, that's it.
We'll enjoy
old folk
it.
like me will know who Frank Sinatra is. These kids don't know. They don't care about that. London going for another goal, and it goes wide. Ball goes wide, and the rolling subs. So the London player immediately indicating he wants to come off. 13 is Shane Doheny for New York. Oh, and here's another chance for a goal. They've done really well, the isolated players. It's PJ King, I think, number 4,
PJ King.
So a great start for New York. London have come back at them, but they're still winning by 8 points. We have a whole half to go, and just to remind you, or to tell you if you don't know, it's 15 minutes each way. So we're nearly at half-time, about a minute and a half, but it's been a really exciting, quality game, really fantastic football, or hurling, and there you go again. That's lovely play, and they're going for goal again. Oh, fantastic. These New York boys are putting on a brilliant show. James Breen, number 3, came up there. You knew he had only one thing in his mind. Goal 4 for New York.
James is a great talent. We actually tried to get him on the football side, but hurling's his first love. He's a Kilkenny man at heart. So
this is a guy born in New York, and he's a Kilkenny man at heart, and he won't play football because he's so dedicated to hurling.
Yeah, hurling comes first. A few boys I asked, hurling came first. Dylan Grace, Shane Donaghy, these boys that are all Kilkenny, their dads are from Kilkenny, so they know nothing else.
That figures.
Yeah.
That figures, and they're playing so well. Their dads must be so proud. There's a point going over for London, but at this stage they're trying to limit the damage because New York have ripped up Croke Park. It's 4-5 to 1-4. The captain, Grace, from distance, from halfway, turns, pings, puts it over the bar. It's now exhibition stuff from these boys. I don't know what you're doing in New York, but you're doing something right.
They're doing it right. They're doing it right. Joan Henchy she would have a big say in Everton. You'd probably know Joan and Collie Matters out in Shannon Gales, they're all doing their bit.
Well, they'll be thrilled by this performance, not just winning, but the way they're doing.
Absolutely. I think they were ready for London because, you know, as I said, over the week, London really gave it to them, so they knew the level they had to get to. So I think they did an early night last night by the looks of it, and they were ready for it this morning.
That's interesting. So they've learned from losing to London earlier in the week, and they've come back stronger, and they've taken them apart. Although London are not dead, they've taken a few nice scores, a couple of points in the last few minutes. There's maybe another one, and they're dangerous around that goal area. And the referee has given a free out. Getting loads of messages on Facebook. We'll catch up with them at halftime, which is imminent. We're now 15 minutes and 37 seconds in. So we're expecting the halftime whistle to go shortly. I don't remember any stoppages, so this could be one of the last moves of the first half. Not quite sure what the hold up is. We're waiting for the ball to get into the right position. And play goes on. We still have time. Oh, a lovely catch, or nearly a lovely catch. Thought he was going to get in behind when they get another goal. They've scored 4 fantastic goals in this first half, New York. London have got a cracker as well, but only the one. And there's no way through there for New York, so they go back. They drop one in a little bit short, and that will be clear down the Cusick stand side of Croke Park as play still goes on. 16.5 minutes in, the final. The whistle goes to end the first half, and what a first half it's been for New York. Now, Elizabeth Hanglow says, come on, New York. Eddie Hogan gets a mention there, the goalkeeper. Connor Reardon has a mention as well. Harry Fisher, come on, Liam, number 4, red helmet. Niall Lawler, a message for Liam O'Brien, man of the match already. Would you agree with that?
Not far off it.
Alicia Jordan says, come on, New York. Matt Rossiter says, the standard of hurling on show here is probably better than what I've seen in adult games in Kilkenny. Well, the Kilkenny lads will be happy about that. Well, not all of them. Patrick Donoghue says, come on, New York. Connor Reardon, Harry Fisher. Celine Kelly says, keep it up, boys. Stephen Carty says, Johnny, you're doing some job commentating. Sean Carty just said, I thought he was a footballer.
I am.
Connor Reardon says, number 4 for London is doing bits. And who else have we got? Yeah, Harry Rogers up the red helmet. So how would you sum up that first half?
Very good from a New York point. You know, it's Pat Donoghue left a message there. He's actually a Galway man at heart. He's a referee over in New York, and he commentates for the Connacht game when we go out there. So it's good to see the boys back home tuning in for the young fellas to see how they're getting on.
Yeah, we've definitely got a big audience there, also in London as well. Lucia Butler says, come on, London, you still have plenty of time to win this game. Great performances. You're right, Lucia, they're playing really well. And they've conceded those goals. Have been hit with hammer blows, but they're not out of it. Brian Spencer, St. Louis GAA, he says, go New York. Let's go New York. Thomas Kelly, go New York. Eamon Hamden, well done, New York. Good job, Garrod. Johnny McGeaney loves hurling deep down. Says Anne-Marie. And Sinead O'Mara says, come on, London. Elizabeth says, so impressed with New York's first half performance. And AJ says, up New York. Go on, Dylan Grace. Yeah, he's playing really well. So lots of messages flying in for this performance from New York. Nee Latching Shannon says, New York doing us so proud. They sure are, absolutely. And Bruce Spiller says, come on, London. So they're all enjoying it. Right now we're going to go to a little video during the halftime break, and we're going to go to, well, we should go to an American really. So let's go to Molly Murray. She has gone from Detroit to Iberia in ladies football. I spoke to her the other day in at the games in Waterford, and she was telling me about her journey and how the girls from Spain were taking to ladies football. Molly Murray from Detroit, playing for Spain at the minute, watching the game. You're doing pretty well here?
Yeah. This is a big improvement on this morning. We had a tough game this morning against Australia. So we're feeling good now. We're getting the rhythm. We've never played all together before because we're from all over Spain. So some of us have played together, a lot of us have played against each other, but we've never played on the same team. So it's looking really good right now. We're feeling good.
A lot of goals in the first half.
Yeah, it was really exciting because I don't know if we had any this morning. So it feels good to get some goals in. I feel a lot better now.
And how does an American end up playing for the Spaniards here?
Well, now I'm quite Spanishized, as I say. I moved to Spain like 8 years ago. So I used to play in Detroit growing up since I was a kid. And once I found out there were GAA clubs in Spain, I went and found them.
And the girls are playing really well. Are they getting better as the tournament goes on, do you think? Because you said they didn't play too well this morning.
We're definitely getting better already in one. I mean, we only had one game so far, and now we're halfway through this one, but we can already tell that it's clicking a lot better, the movement's a lot better, we're talking a lot more. It's looking good.
What do you think of the buzz at this tournament today? You can almost feel it.
I actually, when I walked in, the first thing I said was like, oh my gosh, it feels so nice to be at a GAA tournament again. It's been a long time since I used to always go to North American finals. So it was the same kind of, it was really nostalgic, you know, because I haven't, and in Spain, it's where we go to really small tournaments, we play 7-a-sides, it's always the same people. So it was fun to come in and see so many pitches and so many teams. And yesterday when we got to Waterford, one of the Spanish girls was like, it's so fun to just see all this GAA gear. Because usually they're the only ones wearing it in their city, and now it's just everywhere.
Estábamos todas a la derecha y aquí había un hueco grandísimo.
Why do the Spaniards love it? You know all the Spanish girls. Why do they love it?
Why do they love it? I don't know. They've really picked it up well. I don't know how. In each city, it's kind of different. And actually, we have a few other international people. Like there's a French girl on our team, there's a Dutch girl on our team. Like other people that have kind of made Spain their home. But
And apologies to Molly, but we're going to have to come out of that because they've just restarted rather quickly for the second half. And there is still bright sunshine in Croke Park and lots of heat. But we have just gone into shade here in the Hogan stand, so maybe we could move over to the Cusick stand. Here come New York again at the start of the second half. See if they can pick up where they left off in the first half. They have a big lead, a 10-point lead. And there's a fabulous block as well, and we are really getting the full range of skills. And this is a fabulous game, and I'm really, really impressed, as I'm sure everybody else is, with New York. Now there's somebody down injured, unfortunately, at the minute. That looks bad. And the courage of these young lads is maybe contributing to that. Oh, he looks like he's getting up, thank goodness. But wow, they really threw everything in this. Yeah, he's back, he's fine. Good to see. Now on Facebook, there's loads of messages coming in. So where do I start? Steve Tarrant, come on London, it's not too late. Kelly Rafferty, come on London, bring it back. Patrick Donoghue, I remember Johnny telling me he won a few underage hurling medals back in Armagh. Well, Johnny will be back with us in commentary in a minute. And London Abu says Sean Holohan. Claire McCartney says well done New York. And Karen Trainer, best of luck to New York hurlers from Yonkers, Westchester County Tourism, New York. And Eilish Dello is also giving a nice message for New York here now on the attack again. And there's another fabulous point fired over the bar. Mike Mack says come on New York, and he gives us lots of colour as well. Keep giving the ball to Dylan Grace. Well, that's not a bad tactic at all. Paul O'Brien says hope to see the GAA World Games back in Waterford City. It was a great fit, it sure was. That was an inspired choice as well. The home, of course, of Pat Daly, Waterford, and he knew it would work there, and it did. Bruce Spiller says, come on, London, you can do it. Carmel Mulvihill says, let's go New York. Eamon Hamden says, up New York from the New Haven Club. And Mike DG says, keep it going, New York. Bring home the victory. Well, it's certainly looking like that at the minute, but it's not over yet. 10 points is a lot, but it's not something that can't be hauled back in this game. So we will follow the play for the rest of this 12.5 minutes or so, because you cannot rule out London. They are a fine team. They've been hit with 5 goals now. They've been 4 goals rather. They've all been brilliant goals. And there's a point for London. That's what they need, just to steady them a little bit. Now they'll hope to try and get a little bit of momentum going. And that was scored by the number 13, Aidan Callanan. Now the ball is immediately up the other end of New York. Oh, they looked like they were going for goal again, Dylan Grace, but he lost the ball at the vital moment, and immediately it's switched up to play. That's what happens in this small pitch. The ball can go in hurling from one end to the other very, very quickly. But New York clearing their lines effectively. That's a nice clearance, but it goes off the stick. And now it's, oh, that's lovely play by New York. Wow. It's not just they're winning, that's the way they're winning. That is fantastic hurling. Great to see, great style. Shane Doherty, Dylan Grace, the boys are ripping up Croke Park and turning on the style.
They're like zig and zag, them two. They're always with each other. No matter where you see them, one isn't without the other.
Well, you could tell that the way they passed it to each other. They were instinctively they were like out in the park or in the backyard, just passing the ball to each other. This has been a very special performance from New York. They are leading by 4-8 to 1-6. 11 points in it. Now there's a high dangerous ball dropping in, and London will be he pulled on it, didn't get there though, and New York remaining resolute at the back, and I think there was a foul on the goalkeeper there, but we'll let that go. Alright, London going for score again. They do seem to have a pretty obvious tactic, and that is to get it into the full forward and hope he does the rest. He's done it once, but they've curtailed him most of the time apart from that.
He was the danger man all week. I believe he got 2 hat-tricks in both games, if I'm not mistaken. They just lumped it into him, and he seemed to get in the end of every ball. So, well,
it shows that New York have learned. They have taken a few notes from the games earlier, and they've learned from them. And look, the big guy is coming off now, off camera.
There's not too many more shrewd than Mike Kennedy and Mickey Quigg at this game, or so they'd like to tell you.
Talk's a good game.
Yeah, talk's a great game.
But it must be thrilling for all the coaches, all the parents, all the players in New York to see them playing like this in Croke Park.
It is, it's brilliant, and you touched on Anne-Marie Kennedy there. She would be massive to the hurling in New York, and Lawrence, you know, they put in a lot of work. It could be Monday night, Sunday night, any night of the week, and they're always there in the park with the hurls, you know, so a lot of it does go down to the grassroots of it, and they would be well behind that, you know, so it's looking good. It's looking good for the future.
It's a very exciting young team, and you know, I'd say they'll stay at it.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
The excitement in the crowd and the atmosphere here is just dulled a little bit because the end of the first half it was reaching a crescendo, but the New York obviously realised they don't need to do much more. They just need to contain this. And London need to get there, but they're not getting anywhere near it. Now Doherty again picks that up. I think overall maybe the age profile might be higher with the London lads, but they are being led a merry dance by these young Americans. What was it, the song years ago, the kids in America? They certainly are really turning on the style in Dublin. And there's a lovely ball up to, well, actually it was intercepted, well intercepted. Aidan, no, not Aidan, he's 5 for the other team. Here comes Dylan Grace. I think he's put that to the right. He has. It feels like we're playing out time, but we've still got 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, but they're playing it out rightly. So here's actually Eugene Kine's son coming on, Paddy, I believe. He would be big into the hurling also, so it's nice to see the lads getting a run.
A lot of proud fathers about, I'd say, today.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of the fathers actually booked flights last night when they seen the kids were getting to play. They said frigate and got the flight booked, so it's great to see it.
Well,
it's not going to happen every.
It's a special time, and they'll have special memories from this. There's no doubt about that. Here comes New York again, and are they still going for goal? They love to go for their goals, don't they?
They do, yeah. I wouldn't mind if Mickey actually pulled Garode off there, and maybe Eddie, and keep them for later on.
So you're the football coach, he's the hurling coach.
Who? Mickey. Yeah, Dennis Toomey would be the football coach, and then we've Collie Matters, Simon Gillespie.
Yeah.
You know, it's all good spirit. You have to have that wee bit of rivalry just coming up.
But to be fair, and to mention that later on, we have the men's native-born final, and it's New York against New York. You're heavily involved in that. That's going to be a cracker.
Heavily involved in that, and Barnabas. You know, a lot of the boys that are playing in the senior team, I would coach also. You know, so for today, yes, it's going to be the development, but overall, I'll be very happy that it's coming home to New York. You know, so.
No, you can't lose that one.
No, you can't lose that one. Actually, the London team yesterday put on a real show against us, and there were 5 up at one stage, so we were thinking that we were dead and buried, but the young fellas pulled it out of the bag, so hopefully something like that today.
We're down to the last nearly 6 minutes. There's no sign of them wilting either. These young lads will play all day and run all day, especially in Croke Park. And there's a little bit of shouldering off the ball, which is quite entertaining. The crowd are enjoying that, and the young fella, fair play to him. He's only, I'd say, half the size, and he's still taking the shoulders.
Yeah, Dylan Grace never backs down. Hasn't the height advantage, but he never backs down.
He's no advantage really there, but except his heart and passion for it.
That's it.
So London not giving up, and they're still going for that high ball, and they're still trying that. But Dylan Grace is there. He's been hauled to the ground, but he still gets up. He still gets a touch on it, and he still wins the ball. You must be so proud of these kids, and here they come now, out of goals.
Eddie's actually playing with a chipped bone in the shoulder, I believe.
My
it's
goodness.
taped up, and he's still looking to play the football earlier. I told him the rest to look after himself.
What does that say about their will to play here in Croke Park?
The Hogans, there's 3 of them. They're crazy. They'll play until they can't walk, you know. And they're actually very funny. Shane actually captained or vice captain, I believe, for New York at home this last couple of years, and he would be what the development guys are looking after, you know, to see him playing. And we actually have a couple of the managers that are actually on the subs bench and for New York this year, you know. So everything's going in the right direction.
And it's going in New York's direction at the moment, and the ball is, but they hit it low again. They're not so hot at taking the points. Well, I suppose they've got 9, but they've taken 4 goals. No goals in the second half, but they seem to have lost a little bit of purpose in the second half.
See, you're playing with a sweeper here. Can you do that in hurling? You can.
Of course you can. You're the coach.
Not
well,
of this.
football
not
coach.
of this. Yeah.
Here we go. That'll be a free in to London. They'll have to go for goal here. But yeah, New York at the minute are on easy street. Less than 5 minutes left. Without trying to put the mockers on it, they are 4-9 to 1-6. Now he's going to go for goal, isn't he?
Yeah,
Bang!
and it wasn't the first.
Oh, see it.
He done that during the week and it went well through the net.
Well, as I say, your boys have learned a lot. They were wise to that.
There's the Hadget man now. He calls himself Peter King. He's a twin, and his sister's actually, she was on the New York B side. They got beaten in the quarterfinals yesterday by Canada.
Bernadette Darcy says, bring on Mick the goal machine. I'm not sure which team that is even. Pat Donahue says, Johnny, you're doing a great job in the co-commentating. And as you said, he knows the business.
I'll take his job next year.
Down to the last 3 minutes. There's quite a breeze here is picked up in Croke Park, believe it or not. I know it looks beautiful on the screen, and it does, but we now have shade, and it's quite a cool breeze in the Hogan stand. And there's a lot of unsavoury looking wrestling going on there in the middle of the pitch. The hurling quality has dropped a little bit in this second half. But as I say, New York are pretty much home and dry, but they're not going to take any rubbish either. They're getting in there, getting stuck in. 2 New York men on the ground, and another one standing up for them. And down the pitch as well, Dylan Grace is getting stuck in off camera as well with another marker down the pitch. These boys are feisty. And there's a goal for London to try and haul them back into the game. It might be too little, too late. It's 4-9 to 2-6. And I think that was Aidan Callanan. It was indeed. It was Callanan with that goal in Croke Park. A special moment for Aidan, a great goal. And the ball goes over the bar at the other end, a point. Perfect response, Johnny.
Yeah,
that's what you want to see.
That's it. 2 minutes left, so hopefully see it out.
21 plays 12, 22 plays 12, 10 points in it again, 4-10 to 2-8. So they let in a goal and went straight up the other end and banged it over the bar. This has been a very entertaining game, and it's the 6th game we have had today, the 6th final. And these finals are as a result of the games during the week in Waterford. They had to play in Waterford all week to qualify for this. There's a man down, a London man down, and the crowd are irate about that. I didn't quite see what happened, but the referee is in there to deal with it.
Couldn't see past Johnny Glynn there. He's a big unit.
That's true. And we're now in the 29th minute, so 1 minute to go, but there'll be a little bit of extra time to be played, a little bit of added time to be played. And we have 2 more finals after this. We have the ladies' native-born final, and after that we have the men's native-born final, and after that an exhibition of lacrosse and hurling, which should be very interesting as well. But this particular game is going to go to added time, but we're in no doubt about the winners at this stage. But the second half hasn't been as exciting as the first. The first was electric.
Yeah, I think New York got the job done in the first half and just sat back and let London poke the ball in, and they were just, Eddie Hogan was strong in goals. He wasn't letting too much past him today.
Yeah, you've good men on the line.
Great men.
Great men on the line. The first half of the day was all more or less all Middle East and Australia, you know, areas where there's a lot of Irish, whereas the native born the last 4 games of the day has been a lot of New York, a lot of Americans, which is great to see
brilliant
as well.
To see.
And
we had actually we had proposed maybe that we make a strong New York team and go into the Irish and see what we can get out of it, and put another development into the native, and work it from there. So that's something that we are going to look at in the future, to see what level we need to get to. It can only improve us.
Well, that's an interesting step. I mean, it seems like the GAA World Games has opened another door for you and shown yourselves even that you can compete at this sort of level, and it's good to reach even higher.
Yeah, without a doubt. We definitely would have the fitness. It would just be keep the skill coming, keep all that coming. We're not going to go too far wrong when we have the likes of Johnny Glynn on the sideline for a New York native team, So, and Mickey Quigg running up and down there, he's going to enjoy this.
He is.
He no matter what time, no matter where, he's always there. Whether it's camogie, football, everything, he's always Mr. New York. So.
Good dairy man, of course.
And he doesn't let you forget it.
Well, that's how I remembered it,
He doesn't let you forget it.
The screen, the big screen in Croke Park, and all the pictures you're seeing as well are showing lots of great pictures of the crowd enjoying their day out in Croke Park, and they're all applauding the player who's unfortunately coming off with an injury there. But look at that, great to see the Hogs, and everyone has enjoyed the week, and people from all parts of the world have all got on so well with each other this week. Has been a real family atmosphere about the GAA World Games this week. It's been a thrill a minute, and experiences to remember really for everybody. I'm sure you've met people from all over the world. There's 2 girls from South Africa sitting behind you here, for example, so
the talent from South Africa was unreal. The men's were doing 1-arm push-ups before they even started the game. It was unreal.
One-handed push-ups.
One-handed push-ups. And then they could play football on top of it. So we tried to avoid them, which just give and go.
Would your lads not be into a bit of that as well? Mickey Quigg would do that, wouldn't he?
Mickey would, yeah. But the development squad are later. We don't want them to go into it. Sometimes they have a big heart to want it. But here we go. The boys have done it. So
the referee has blown the final whistle, and Mickey Quigg, the dairyman who coaches a lot of these young lads, jumps into the arms of the young players who have excited us here, who have lit up Croke Park. They have had a fantastic final. They have won it comprehensively and in style with a real exhibition of hurling, and they are enjoying that moment. Look at the joy in their faces. I'm not sure who's more excited, Mickey Quigg, the coach, or the young lads who are out there winning it.
I tell you, Mickey will probably be the last man standing tonight, I would say. He's talked it up all week. If we win this, so we'll see.
And there he goes. Well, he's not standing at the moment. He's getting the bumps, because this has all been a lot of this has been about what he has done down the years. There's a lot of good hurling people in New York, and this is the day that they can feel is a reward for them.
100%. This doesn't happen overnight. The boys had tryouts, they had training, they've had organised flights and hotel rooms and everything, and it's massively down to the likes of Mickey and Simon everybody involved with New York. So it's great. It's paying off for them now, which is great, you know. So hopefully this will be one of many for them, you know.
If I asked you to pick a player of the match, could you do that?
I don't think you could look past Dylan Grace, the captain today. I think he was on fire. You know, but as a team, excellent. But Dylan he had the fire in his belly today, and you could even see with 2 minutes to go, he was still squaring up with the London man. So he would be my man now, definitely, for today.
And there's John Horan, the GAA president, and Niall Erskine from the international unit. I think he's the chairperson, and they are waiting to present the cup to these New York lads, and they'll be delighted to do that, because they'll be delighted to see not only these lads coming through, but coming through in such style. They have really put on a show here today, because London were a good team and they beat New York during the week in the qualifiers as such, and New York have come to the party today and they have really turned it on. Now the presentation will take place in the Hogan stand. John Horan, the GAA president, will hand over the cup, or maybe Niall Erskine will do it, I'm not quite sure, but they will hand it over. But first of all, the losing team will go up, and that is London. So this is the 2019 Reynolds Gaelic Games GAA World Games native-born hurling final, and New York have beaten London comprehensively, and New York are forming a guard of honour, and this has become a tradition just today. As today has gone on, it wasn't done in the first couple of games, but it's now become the style, and it's a nice touch. The New York lads will applaud the London lads up onto the famous steps here in Croke Park.
I believe that's London's first defeat of the whole games. I think they've walked through the groups, and it's unfortunate that it has to be on the final, but they can be very proud of what they've achieved. They're an excellent side.
On Facebook, Matthew Kelleher says, great job New York. Paul Levin says, congratulations New York. Paddy O'Connor says, unlucky London, great effort and great experience playing at Croke Park. We'd agree with that. Sean Og Hurler says, congratulations New York. And Jimmy Dunn says, well done New York. Kevin Brown says, unlucky London. Patrick Donoghue says, I wish they had an underage development program when I was growing up in New York in the 1980s. Well, we all wish that. Where would it be now? But at least it's there now, it's in place now. Brian Clark, congratulations New York. Bridget Murray, congratulations New York. Phil Boyle, yeah, New York. Derek Courtney, congratulations. David Cosgrove, he's out there as well. He says he couldn't be prouder of New York GAA. Simon, Mickey and all. That's Simon Gillespie and Mickey Quigg. This development team is an example of how American-born hurlers are representative of hurling's sustainability in New York as the game is steadily growing nationwide. That sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Celine Kelly, congratulations to you all. Keep it going. Connor Reardon sent us a message. Somebody's crying. I don't know who's crying, but I'm sure there will be a few tears. Breda O'Reilly Delahunty says, wahoo, congratulations New York hurlers, great game. Maureen Crosby, well done. Matthew O'Connell, I see you out there. Eamon Hamden, well done lads. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And we're watching the stars and stripes being lifted. The flags are there around this presentation area to welcome these exciting young hurlers from New York, all American born. Yes, their dads are Irish, and yes, their dads have flown in especially for this occasion, and what an occasion. Let's hand over for the presentation to the GAA president, John Horan.
Ladies and gentlemen, just like to congratulate both teams on a fine sporting game. Commiserations to London. Hopefully you've enjoyed the week and the experience here over the World Games. This cup we're presenting here today is in honour of Seamus Howland, the former chairperson of the Overseas Committee, a man that did an awful lot of work for the overseas units throughout his time. And it gives me great pleasure now to congratulate and present the cup to New York.
Who have come down here and shown that they have great skill, great tenacity, and they have won the hurling final, and I'm pretty sure all these lads will be back. And you can see their family and friends there taking photographs and congratulating them as well. And this day is not over for New York, because coming up we have their ladies in the native born final coming up in just a few minutes, and then the men's football final, native born final, is coming up as well in a few minutes time. And we will be going to an interview here in just a minute or so, but we also have our own interview being lined up with the one and only Mickey Quigg. I'm not sure if we're going to get time to do this, Mickey, but put those on you there, put that on you there, and we'll see if we can get a word. We might have to break off, but Mickey Quigg, we've been talking on the commentary. I will break off you if I had to, but for the moment, what was it like getting the bumps out there in Croke Park from all of those players and coaches? It shows what this meant and what they think of you.
Unbelievable, Joe. No, the lads put in serious work, and I think today, I think everybody will agree, it was a real team performance. From the 9 lads that started to the 13 lads come in, and I think it's just a combination of the hard work they've put in over the last number of months, and we've had a serious backing from our county board and just the players, the management, everybody. So absolutely delighted.
I hate to stop you, but just stop there for a moment, because we're going to go to another interview. We'll come back to you in a moment, Mickey.
Can I join for this picture, Joe?
Mike Kennedy, first of all, manager of New York, congratulations, what a performance. I correct you there before manager with Mickey Quigg, but a great performance. And we are giving it all, they used their speed, they used the full field, and we got the goals, that's what counts. It was always going to be tough on yourself in London, but the best all week down in Waterford, but really the goals made the difference. Absolutely, we drew it from the first day. The beat was pretty convincing in the second day, but I knew we had the legs on them, and that's what we used, so it worked out. Mike, what's it mean to all of you in New York? It's unbelievable. Most of these guys are hurt from the time they were 6 years of age. There's a development program here for the last 20 years, and we have a new man on board the last couple of years, Mickey Quigg, who shoved it on another 10 yards. So it's all work, and the guys love it. So Mike Kennedy, manager of New York, congrats and well done. Enjoy the celebrations. New York folks, enjoy the celebrations.
Particular live stream. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes on another stream on the same page with the ladies native born final in just a minute.